Hello and welcome to the latest instalment of ISJ Leaders in Security. Today I'm joined by Zahoor Ahmed, Vice President for Strategy and Partnerships for MIE Group, the company behind the Africa Technology Show and Africa Security Show. Zahoor, how are you?
Matthew, welcome. Thank you very much. All is well here in Dubai.
MIE Group have been focused on the Africa region for a little while now. Could you just give a few more details about the organisation's commitment to Africa over the past decade, please?
Yeah, I mean, MIE Group, obviously now in its kind of 21st year, we're focused on key markets, obviously emanating from the Southeast within the Middle East. But over the last decade, our focus has been predominantly in the kind of North and East Africa territories in Morocco and Kenya. But we're also positioned with territories in West Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, and new territories in Rwanda, etc. And with the portfolio of industry that we have, Africa is a kind of burgeoning market. So it's a long-term investment in Africa, and obviously we look forward to continuing that over the next decade.
Speaking specifically about security, why do you see Africa as a key growth region for the security industry?
I mean, a lot of reasons. The African economic activity and infrastructure, Pan-Africa, is developing at a very accelerating pace. And through that, security provisions of trade movements, security provisions on the financial side, the economic diversity of growth markets, are all very critical, and without having security infrastructure there to support and protect that growth is very, very vital. And when we work closely with governments, the technology, the security governments, the defense sector, and industry partners, they are all very, very looking on a very long-term basis for ensuring their investment and their infrastructure kind of drive is protected by security, financial security measures. So, Africa is a very important growth market for security, for tech, and obviously for other major industries. But the underlying part of where technology and security pays is important. And we're working with with governments and industry to kind of support them by making sure that we bring the right products and the services and the expertise and counsel to those markets.
Great, right. And what are the objectives of the Africa Security Show and Africa Technology Show?
I mean, like with all of the portfolios and industry sectors that we have brought to Africa, security and technology, as I mentioned, is underlying the entire industry spectrum. So we want as our mandate to ensure that Africa has access to, can discuss, can partner with the biggest and global ICT and security, conglomerates, businesses, products and services to Africa. Because when we're talking to companies in the US or talking to organizations in Europe, they do have operations in Africa, but they're at a very rudimentary level. What we want to do is we want to bring bigger projects and bigger infrastructure giants to Africa, and where they look at investing in the grassroots of the industry. So they're looking at long-term investment within those sectors, and there's a lot of burgeoning communities and zones that now government and industry in key African markets are really willing to support global investment into their sectors.
Okay, and why have you decided to host the events in Kenya and Morocco?
Well, Kenya and Morocco are our key predominant markets, and from the global trade and logistics, East Africa, Kenya has always been the first market of entry. So we've been in Nairobi, Kenya for just over 6-7 years. Morocco is our secondary market, where the advantage of Morocco here is access to Europe. It's a North African Arabic country, French-speaking community, and also has historical trade links with the GCC. And Morocco, their biggest source market is China. So strategically, they're very vital in terms of our development plans. But as a business and as a group, we look at Africa as a continent. So in East Africa, we have Kenya, North Africa, we have Morocco. For West Africa, we are in Nigeria and Ghana. And for South Africa, obviously, in South Africa. So when we develop our plans, our platforms, our investments, we do look at, Africa in those kind of 4 quadrants.
Thank you. And what sort of features can visitors look forward to at the event?
Well, with our business-to-business platforms, we will be welcoming global ICT and security products and services and partners. But alongside that, we want to make sure visitors, virtual and physical, have a world-class seminar. Content and conference programs are critical. We're already working with, high-level industry and government to ensure that we have their key members and key partners on board. We'll also be doing high-level business-to-business matchmaking. If you're an exhibitor and investing in our platform, the thing that you want to really ensure that you are talking to the partners on the ground. So we have a very exclusive VIP business-to-business matchmaking services to ensure that there is real business done on the platforms. But we extend that to international visitors that will be coming to our platforms with tours of international communication technology zones. We'll be taking them to the kind of incubator arenas around the cities, so they get to really experience what is happening at a grassroots level, at an industry level, with the support of the government. So they know that when they are looking to invest in those cities, in those countries, in those industries, they have a very good platform to develop.
Great. And are you able to give some examples of the exhibitors and speakers that you already have on board?
Well, obviously, due to the current global climate, we're still in the process of securing. But what I can assure is, we have the support of governments from Morocco. We have the Digital Development Agency. We have the Core 4 Industry Association that represents the entire ICT sector and security sector. So, we'll be blessed and very privileged to get the chairmen and CEOs on board. We have already connected with smart cities around the world, and we are waiting for confirmation from senior people that have developed their cities into smart cities, and we'll be welcoming them board not only as business-to-business partners, but also global speakers. Incubator zones within Morocco and in Kenya, like Tech Savannah, they're also part of our kind of conference and speaker program. We have the defense and civil defense sectors also participating at government industry level. And then obviously the associations that have Pan-Africa responsibilities, the likes of APAB and Kenya Computer Association and Morocco ICT sector. So all of these associations are vitally important. One of the other grassroots initiatives that we're very proud of being working with is 10,000 Decoders. They're a grassroots initiative that looks at developing the next generation coders for Africa. So we look at grassroots, we look at industry, we look at stakeholders and government in terms of participating both on a business-to-business platform, but also on the conference and seminar programs.
Great, thank you. And how can people find out more information about the events?
Well, firstly and foremostly is the web platforms, which is Africa Tech Show and Africa Security Show. We also have social media handles for both the shows, which they can get from the website. But also, our relationship and our partnership with International Security Journal is also another key source for ensuring that we have the right kind of readership and business leaders that are looking to do that. And partners, like yourselves, and other key partners are critical to promoting the industry and the platform. So, but the source of the websites are obviously critically the first point that we should go to.
Could you just explain why ISJ is such an important partner for MIE groups?
Yeah, ISJ, obviously, within the security sector, they are renowned in terms of being, the voice of the industry. And, as a global organization where we have markets in China, the Middle East, and, obviously in Africa, we wanted to make sure that the partnerships that we bring on board and work very closely with to raise the profile, raise the standards, raise the conversation and the narrative reflects our mandate. And for us as MIE Group with ISJ, I think we've got a strong partnership that we will be able to deliver that mandate over the next kind of couple of years.
What are the future plans for MIE Group?
We have some exciting plans. We just launched our virtual exhibition platform called Global Trade Week. This is a clear indication of our investment into the industry to ensure that businesses and industries that unfortunately have not had the opportunity to host their platforms, we are welcoming them on board the virtual exhibition platform. So that's going to be ongoing from June to October. And then we look at our exhibition platforms themselves, increasing the territories within Africa. As I mentioned, we kind of divide Africa north, south, east, west. Our business intelligence division are very kind of critical in expanding the research and market intelligence that we deliver to our key partners. And we have a dedicated business-to-business platform where we align our conference partners, our seminars, throughout the year. And, we want to make sure that we can welcome, the global ICT community to Africa over the next decade.
Thank you so much for your time today, Zahoor. It's been really good to find out more about both of the events and the future plans for MIE Group.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Matthew.
And please remember that if you are viewing this on YouTube, please do click the follow button just below here so that you never miss an ISJ Leaders in Security episode. Thank you once again, and we'll see you soon.